Football is back. It's the Charity Shield, Community Shield, Manchester City versus Arsenal, Premier League winners versus oh no, not the FA Cup winners. It's just second place because we won it all. Premier League, FA Cup, whoppa! Add a Champions League on top of that. The treble winners are back in semi-competitive football. Yeah, Charity Shield kind of just sort of a last pre-season for City these last couple of years because we keep winning the league every year, so we just use it as a pre-season. If we weren't in the Charity Shield, I'd guarantee we'd have an extra pre-season game. But because we win everything, because we're the best team in all the land and all the world, we use the Charity Shield as a pre-season friendly. I don't know what that was. But yeah, use it as a pre-season friendly. Final one before. It's basically the curtain raiser for the season for everyone else as well. It's kind of like football is back. Kind of a semi-competitive game. Whoever wins will have bragging rights, but the losers be like, we don't care. But yeah, that's how it goes really. Depends what happens. If someone gets smacked now, it could be a bit of a statement point for the season. Arsenal have had a lot more pre-season games, I'm pretty sure. Man City had 3. They've won 2, lost 1 to Atletico Madrid. It was kind of the B team that lost them though. But results are results. Manchester City versus Arsenal. Curtain raiser for the season. Game preview. Second upload in a week. Yeah, let's get into it. Alright. Curtain raiser, like I said. Man City versus Arsenal. Community Shield, Charity Shield, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't really matter. Well, like I said, if someone makes a mark in this game, if it's a big score, it couldn't lay down a marker for the season. It could makes one of the two teams jump into the transfer market depending on who's playing, of course. Man City's squad is kind of light at the moment, especially with Kevin De Bruyne being out. So, don't know what that was either, but if Man City get pumped by Arsenal, I think we probably dip into the transfer market, depending on who plays. If we plays a first 11, yeah, may dip into the transfer market. So who knows? Arsenal may not want to pump Man City if for that reason. So who knows? But yeah, is there a lot at stake? Well, as I said in the intro, it's just about bragging rights, a little bit of bragging rights. Like Arsenal had Man United had a bit of bragging rights over Arsenal when they won their pre-season friendly against them. It's just a little bit of a laugh. You can laugh at Arsenal for a week or so until the season starts and someone drops points inevitably. Well, probably City and Arsenal probably won't, but you know what I mean. Bragging rights for a week or so. Everyone will forget it by the time. Arsenal fans won't forget it, will they? They won't forget it. City fans won't forget it either. So, yeah, it's just bragging rights until they play each other yet again, or whoever's top of the league. That's basically what it is. It's also, for Man City, like I said, pre-season game number 4. Get fitness levels up. Maybe tactical tweaks, although just practice on it more in an in-game scenario. Although, we seem to be using a back 4. No, we're not. That's just because Kyle Walker's in the lineup. That's why it's confusing me. But it'd be nice to see a proper starting 11 this time as well. Pre-season has been one half of the strong team and a half substitutions, playing one half, then switching up for the second. Last one against Atletico, we got 60 minutes of somewhat was like a full starting 11 against Atletico, or that would happen against Arsenal. We kind of got a little bit of a taster, but I will run through my starting 11. It pretty much picks itself at this stage because of how light our squad is, because Kevin De Bruyne's injured. He didn't get any minutes during pre-season so far, so will he use the Arsenal game, the game that he loves playing against Arsenal, to come back and get some minutes against? Will he start? Will he come off the bench? I will show you what I've gone for, but like I said, it pretty much picks itself. Yeah, but like I used to do with previews last season, we're into our second season now on this channel. But like I did last year, I used to go through we'll go through lineups this time. I used to go through form, last 5 or 6 games, league table, yeah, and whatnot. But there's no real point doing that because it's pre-season. There is no league table. It's a one-off Community Shield at the start of the season. The curtain raiser. So there's no real background info to go into. Realistically, it could just be based off last year's results, City versus Arsenal, which may influence my prediction. But then Arsenal have had more pre-season games, more time to prepare. City always kind of start late in the season. If you're going to make City drop points, it's going to be in the start of the season because we are slow starters. But we peak at the end and just blow everyone away, inevitably. So, Will City win this game? Will we lose it? Will it even be won on penalties? Is there any new rules in football that could be implemented? Maybe the new offside? I don't know if that's going to be implemented. Is there semi-automated VAR offside calls nowadays? Who knows? But realistically, it's just introduction back into football, into competitive football. It's semi-competitive. Players will want to win it. Jack Grealish wants to win it, that's for sure. He said it. He said it last week or a couple of days ago that he's dying to win the Community Shield because he's lost the other two since he's been here. He lost against who did he lose? I think he lost against Liverpool last year and was at Leicester the year before. One of them was at Leicester anyway, but yeah. He's lost the two of them since he's been here. He wants to win the Community Shield. It's all he's left in club football. No, he did the Carabao Cup as well. But he said he wants to win everything once, so we got to do this for Jack Grealish. It'd be nice to win a trophy in Kovacic's first game, in potentially Josko Gvardiol's first game. He'd more than likely be watching as well, though, so it'd be nice to win something in front of him and not his first game watching, just be like, oh, who have I joined? Although, even if we do lose, I don't think that's going to happen anyway. Yeah, if we do lose, I don't think he's going to be having those thoughts anyway, because we're treble winners. We just won the Champions League, the Premier League, and the FA Cup. That's why the FA Cup... So yeah, I don't think he'd be doubting the move whatsoever. But yeah, could be Josko Gvardiol's kind of... not homecoming, but like just his first appearance in City whatsoever. He'll be on the cameras, whether that's the broadcasting cameras or he'll be in the dugout. Who knows? But for Kovacic, he may play. He'd probably play. So it'd be nice to win it for him and Jack Grealish. And who else came last year? Julian Alvarez hasn't won it either. Erling Haaland hasn't won it either. He had a brutal miss in last year's one. But then look what he went to do. We all knew that picture was going to go viral. Even as soon as it happened, just of him smirking at the Community Shield. But hopefully, we haven't won it for a while, so hopefully this time round we can win it. But like I said, there's no point judging pre-season on how this game will go out, because pre-season is pre-season, as we know. Not really taken it seriously. I don't know how seriously Arsenal took it, to be fair. But yeah, there's no point reading too much into it. But yeah, let's get into the starting 11s now. Pretty straightforward for City. Let's just see how Arsenal may go. Okay, so starting lineups. We're gonna start off with Arsenal. This is their side. This is what I'm guessing, kind of going with. To be honest, no idea how they've lined up in pre-season. Actually, I do know Havertz has been starting in midfield quite a bit, so that's why I'm gonna have him in this midfield. Although it may or may not be working, this is what I'm going to guess they go with. And I'm hoping they, well, midfield-wise, they kind of go with, I'm hoping they go with this. But yeah, back four, may not know too much about it. David Raya is actually coming in as goalkeeper. So who knows if he goes straight into the lineup. I doubt they would. But competition for Aaron Ramsdale, who was apparently the most valuable goalkeeper in the world. But now he's getting severe competition in goal, so he's going to really have to step his game up. So we'll see if he becomes a better keeper for it. Stefan Ortega pushed Ederson this year, and look how he performed in the Champions League now. Really confident in Stefan Ortega, so he in turn pushed Ederson to be the guy he was in the Champions League run, in the Champions League final, pulling us out of numerous dangerous situations and pulling it out of the bag, especially in the Champions League final. Okay, but this is the team, the Arsenal team, I'm guessing. Gabriel and Saliba as their centre backs, which is going to be standard throughout the season. Kiwior isn't going to be in there. They complained when he was in there when Saliba got injured. But yeah, Ben White at right back, Julian Timber, their new signing at left back, I'm guessing, because I'm actually just guessing Zinchenko's injured and Tierney probably is as well. But Julian Timber has been in the starting 11 quite a bit, I think, throughout pre-season. He's been playing on the right. I think he's played on the left as well. So he's a versatile defender, can play all across the back, which will be very key for Arsenal throughout the season in multiple competitions now as well. Because that's what City have very well. They have multiple players that can play multiple positions. Think your Phil Fodens. Think your Bernardo Silvas. Think of your, even Julian Alvarez plays in KDB's role sometimes. Think of your Rico Lewis's. Think of your Nathan Akes, who can play left back and centre back. Think of your John Stones, who can play in midfield and centre back and right back. Think of your Kanji, who can play right back and left back. Rico Lewis, did I say he plays at right back and in midfield now as well, which he probably will even more this year. Who else? Yeah, see, that's just off the top of my head, off the top of the dome. Just, yeah, so many players who can play at least 2 positions, if not 3, multiple positions. So yeah, Arsenal finally getting some of those into the squad. Jurriën Timber is a good addition. I think it'll be a great addition to them. So yeah, that should really help them throughout the season. But yeah, I'm expecting him to start this one. But yeah, that's the back 5 going into midfield now. Kai Havertz, like I said, is in there. As the left side of midfield, he's kind of been playing there throughout pre-season. I don't think Mikel Arteta knows exactly where he's going to actually play him, but I'm hoping he plays there because that kind of weakens their midfield. Going from Partey, Odegaard and Xhaka to this new look midfield, which Odegaard will be the leader, Declan Rice as the CDM. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it on his own with those two attacking outlets beside him. He could be very exposed. Hopefully he is. I'd expect more further on if they keep Thomas Partey, although he should be shipped off. But if they keep Thomas Partey, they should be playing Rice in Havertz's position anyway, as a box-to-box midfielder. That's where I think he should be played. That's where I think he would have been played for City had he came. But yeah, Rice at the base in this game, Odegaard to his right, which is standard. He's the club captain, probably top 2 player in the team. Top 3 actually, Saliba, Saka and Odegaard, in whatever order you want to go through. But yeah, he's their talismanic leader, sort of. I don't know if he's loud or whatnot, but he's definitely a starter, that's for sure. They've been running with Rice at the base, so he's a definite start for sure. Kai Havertz, I don't know if they'll play him there. They might play Trossard there. They may play Fabio Vieira there, but I'm going with Havertz. I think he's the one who's been starting there more often than not. Then I was going to say up top, but I'm confident against that midfield, to be honest, if we go with the midfield. Or just to be honest, any midfield we go with should be overrunning that midfield, put it that way. Okay, on to Arsenal's forward line now. It's pretty much what they ran throughout the whole of last season. It's Saka on the right, Martinelli on the left, although you could put Trossard on the left. And then I'm going with Gabriel Jesus up front. You could put Eddie Nketiah up there. But I don't know who's been there throughout pre-season, to be honest. I think Eddie Nketiah has played games there. But I'm just going to go with Gabriel Jesus because I don't really know. But yeah, that's Arsenal's lineup. Quite a strong lineup, bar the midfield. That's a solid back 4 with Jurriën Timber there now and not Zinchenko or Tierney. They'd be one of the weak points in that back 4. Good forward line from Arsenal. Good back 4. Just hopefully that midfield gels together for them. Hopefully for them, not for us. But yeah, that's the Arsenal lineup. I'm going to go with City's one now. Let's see what I've gone for City. So actually starting in goal, I'm going with Stefan Ortega just because it's one of those kind of FA Cup sort of games. Not too serious because Ederson will be back in goal for the Prem games the week after. So you might as well give Stefan Ortega this game. Made a great save against Atletico. He's just so dependable when he's put in net. So, and because it's a semi-competitive, semi-not serious game, throw him in there. Give him a game. It's fine. Pretty sure he got a new contract with more money included. So yeah, City are happy with him. I'm happy with him. I was glad when we signed him after looking at his highlight reel. I was happy with him. I said United should have signed him back last summer. They missed a trick with that one. But Stefan Ortega in goals for the Community Shield. Back 4. Back 4 is probably the trickiest to pick because that's where we kind of have an abundance of positions. But I'm going with Ruben Diaz, John Stones, absolute nailed on starters. Kyle Walker and Akanji are the ones. It's either Akanji on the right, Ake on the left, or Walker on the right, Ake on the left. That's the different options apart from this one. Kyle Walker on the right, Akanji on the left. The reason I'm going Akanji is because Ake slightly got injured, and that is the only reason, to be fair. And that's the only reason I'm going with that. Kyle Walker may play his last game for City. So he'd be given the captaincy now as well in the last couple of games. So I'm just expecting him to get played there. Maybe it's a shop window sort of thing for Bayern Munich. Who knows? So they pay out more money. But I hope he stays as well, by the way. But that's the back 4. Kyle Walker on the right. You could go Rico Lewis in there as well. It's gonna be a back 3. John Stones will be put into midfield, so it's gonna be a back 3 of Akanji, Diaz, Walker. I don't think Pep trusts Rico Lewis in that back 3, so I don't think he'll make it. That's why. Into midfield, this is where it gets kind of exciting. We started off with Rodri, absolutely no-brainer. Calvin Phillips ain't getting minutes in even a semi-serious competition. He ain't getting minutes there. Rodri all the way. It's going to be an absolute slog for him this season. But yeah, beside him on the left, the man who probably shone probably the most during preseason is Mateo Kovacic. Plenty of people liked what he'd done in preseason, me included. I'm so excited for this guy. I've been calling for him for years. I've rated him for years now. Wanted him at City for years. Finally here, first semi-competitive game. I'm going to like to see how he does in this starting 11, because this is the starting 11. That'll probably start the season. But yeah, Mateo Kovacic beside Rodri. I'm really looking forward to him. It doesn't have his number here, but he's the number 8. The Gundogan replacement. Yeah, really excited to see how he does. Beside him is either going to be Bernardo Silva or Phil Foden, one of the two. But yeah, Bernardo Silva is in midfield beside him, the Duracell bunny like he is. He's starting whatsoever because there's no KDB, so we have no other options really. So this is the only midfield we can run with. Maybe Rico Lewis instead of Bernardo Silva, Calvin Phillips instead of Rodri, but that's a no-go. But yeah, that's really the only midfield we can go with. You could throw in a James McAtee or a Cole Palmer, but because it's to really gel the first 11 that's going to start the season. This game should be to gel the team. This is what I'm going to go with the midfield. And up front, Erling Haaland, main man up front. Jack Grealish, probably our only. He's going to be a starting winger for the foreseeable. And Phil Foden out on the right. Basically, Phil Foden and Bernardo Silva will be starting. Just whether if Bernardo starts on the wing, Phil starts in midfield, or Phil starts on the wing and Bernardo starts in midfield. This is what I've gone with though, because yeah, I just kind of prefer Phil on the wing at the moment. Just he's a little bit more direct. Yeah, I just prefer that for the moment. We've been liking, as City fans, we've been liking Phil Foden in the middle during pre-season, but with Kovacic, Rodri and Bernardo Silva playing, I'm expecting Foden to be the one pushed out onto the wing this time. Yeah, so that's what I'm going with. Julian Alvarez probably could play instead of Erling Haaland. Who knows? Yeah, that's fine. That's probably, you can just swap them out really. You might actually just go with Alvarez because he's going to have to start Erling Haaland when the actual season starts in the Premier League. So you could see that change. Alvarez could be playing. Jack Grealish is almost a dead cert on the left-hand side, to be honest. He's that role, he's that position all to himself now. There's no really other left wingers. Phil can play there, but he's probably going to play on the right this season. Palmer plays on the right. Oscar Bob plays on the right. James McAtee will play on the right wing to get minutes. So Jack Grealish has free roam on that left wing. So he's going to be starting against Arsenal. So this is the Man City lineup. Stefan Ortega, Akanji, Diaz, Stones, Walker at the back. Rodri, Kovacic, Bernardo Silva in midfield. Very excited for Kovacic, like I said. Grealish on the left, Phil Foden on the right. Erling Haaland or Julian Alvarez up top. That should be more, well, I was going to say more than enough to beat Arsenal, but it's usually KDB's specialty that beats Arsenal these days. It should be more than enough to beat Arsenal, but Arsenal are a tricky side. It shouldn't be more than enough. It should just be enough to beat Arsenal. But again, Arsenal are more prepared. They've had more pre-season games. City haven't. So who knows? Like I said, ultimately, it doesn't really matter. It's just competitively, at least anyway. For fans, it kind of matters because it's bragging rights. One set of fans will be annoying the other set of fans. To be fair, whoever loses, all their rivals, all the top 6 rivals will be clowning on them until if they go into the lead at the top of the table. These are the 2 teams I'm expecting to be fighting for the title. Liverpool, I think, may get in there. Man United probably will get in there as well. That probably should be the top 4. I'd probably make a top or just a Premier League predictions next week after the Community Shield. But yeah, that's the 11 I'm going with to play that Arsenal 11 that I showed you earlier on. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Who do you think will start? Do you think we've any other options to start? Maybe Nathan Ake and maybe Julian Alvarez could be the only. And you can throw in Rico Lewis, but I don't know where Rico Lewis would play, if that's in defence or midfield. But they're the only other 3 players that could get into this lineup realistically. Ederson, yeah, as well, actually. So make that 4. Those are the 4 players. Do you think this will be the lineup City will go with? Do you think Man City will win? Let me know your score prediction in the comments below. I'm going to go for a 3-1 Man City win. I'm going a Foden goal. I'm going a Rodri goal. And I'm going with an Erling Haaland goal as well. Mateo Kovacic having a good performance as well. And we'll all be happy at that. Yes, yes. 3-1's my predictions. Let me know yours in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video. It helps other City fans find it. And always, if you're new, don't forget to subscribe. And yeah, I shall see you next time. Maybe for a post-match review or just straight into... It might just be a pre-season review in general. counting it as a preseason game. But yeah, I shall see you next time. Peace.